Hi once again. Welcome to my daily broadcast. My name is Barry Selby. I am a best-selling author, speaker, and relationship attraction expert, helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. I'm also a passionate champion of the divine feminine. Now we got that out of the way, let's get into today's topic. Actually, let me also preface this by saying this is my daily Facebook Live talk under the heading of Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. And this is number 253. Yeah, 253. Doing a lot of these. This is a daily one. And today's topic is inspired, as always, by conversations or posts or things I've read recently that inspired this talk. And the title actually I put was Breaking Up is Hard to Do. That actually is I think a Neal Sedaka song from way back in the 80s, I think. But it was running through my head when I was talking about breakup. There's a breaking up. And it's like, breaking up is hard to do. Anyway, I'm not going to do the song because it's not my what's the word, octave. But the thing about it is, it can be messy. And talking to some friends recently, in fact, counselling a couple of them, there's been some pretty painful breakups recently from friends, and I want to speak to that a little bit. Partly because there's lessons to be learned, partly because there's better ways of doing it, and partly because sometimes people, not necessarily you, but people overstay their welcome. So let me talk about this a bit more. I talked in previous videos recently about no doesn't necessarily mean no, and about what yes sometimes is given too quickly. So this is the other end, in a way, of the I'm done, I'm out type thing. So first let me do a little tribute to a friend of mine, Catherine Woodward Thomas, who wrote a book called Conscious Uncoupling, because this isn't about that. This, in a way, is going to talk to all the people who maybe didn't get the memo about how to consciously uncouple, how to consciously separate, detach, and leave a messy relationship. So I'm going to speak to a couple of pieces of this. One of which is how messy it can be to do the breakup. And the second piece is going to be how messy you can feel after the breakup. So I'm going to give you 2 for 1. It's like a bonus. One particular instance I'm going to speak to is a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention names for confidentiality and privacy. Who is feeling pangs after her and her boyfriend had a really messy argument and breakup. And they're in a place now where they're doing the... oh, this is going to be bad. It's kind of like they're doing the property exchange, which is like the prisoner exchange in the neutral zone. But it's kind of like that experience. Boy, that's an interesting analogy. When you've been in a relationship for a while with your partner and you've got stuff at each other's places, you want to bring it together, you want to cross paths. And sometimes the exchanging of things should be done in a neutral environment versus in one or each other's homes. And it is kind of a prisoner exchange. It's so funny. I've just got the analogy. It's like, you're giving stuff back to them as long as they give their stuff back to you, or your stuff back to you. It's not pretty, but there's a lot of emotional baggage. So in that experience, let me back to... Sorry, I went off a whole different tangent because the whole prisoner exchange model, like imagine like the neutral zone in Berlin back in when the wall was still there. I just had a really... Excuse me whilst I just go to a different picture. Let me bring it back to this one. If you wouldn't hear it, you'd enjoy it too, but it was just a weird picture I got. When she was telling me about this concern about when she got together with her ex to do exchange of properties to give things back and such like that, her expression, though, was also about what if. Like, if he reached out again, if he wanted to restart things. And I was like, no, a really firm no, because what he did initially that caused the breakup, because he broke up with her, was a line that he crossed that he can't go back over. And in your experiences, perhaps, you had relationships that ended because of a line crossed that could not be undone, but you have a bad habit, if you're like most people, of erasing what really happened and painting it over with a fantasy of what could happen. So if down the road, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 days, where they come back and say, I'm so sorry, let's try it again, where you'll actually put on a fantasy of what really happened, so you downplay the emotional distress it caused you. As you can tell from what I'm saying, it isn't healthy. Breaking up is not something that is necessarily easy, but it can be simple. Simple, easy? Yeah, something like that. Because what breaking up is about is detaching from each other. However, most people don't break up effectively, successfully, or the right way. And I'm putting the right way in quotes because it sounds so like I've got the answers, and I don't necessarily have the answers, but I want to share these ideas. So, on this particular track about breaking up consciously, to borrow from Catherine Wilbur Thomas, breaking up consciously means take responsibility for your own emotional baggage. It's not just the baggage of property and stuff you're going to exchange, but it's the emotional stuff that you're carrying as you leave that relationship. Because there's things like expectations that weren't met. There may have been boundaries that were violated. There may have been words, statements, and insults that were thrown that are still sticking into you or them. Consciously breaking up, conscious uncoupling, as Catherine would call it in her book, my way of interpreting what consciously breaking up is about is to take responsibility for your own emotional stuff that's come up in the breakup. Yes, there's also physical stuff to deal with, again, property, keys giving back, stuff like that, but it's the emotional baggage that could include revenge, resentment, guilt, sadness, disbelief. It could be a whole range of different things you could be feeling. But it's how do you do that consciously? Consciously means you take a responsibility for your own participation in this, your own feelings in this, because if you're blaming the other person for the way you feel, you won't win. Let me say that one again. If you're feeling like you're upset and emotional because of the other person and you want them to fix it, it won't happen. And even if it did, it wouldn't work. Because if they try to fix that, what they did wrong, a part of you's not going to believe them because you've been violated in emotionally speaking. So the work is on your plate. The work is in your wheelhouse to heal those emotional wounds, baggage, pain, suffering, and hurt that you're carrying home. It ain't fun, I know. And somehow you want to judge the other person or blame the other person for causing it, which is great, but it doesn't solve anything. Your homework in this sort of situation is to put the mirror up in front of you and to look at your own experience and to see truly who you are, what you're about, and where you may have made mistakes, and also where you were innocent of all crimes, so you can actually get to a place of truth again. Because also part of this breakup stuff, a lot of the truth got really, a lot of times that truth got buried under a lot of accusation, upset, distress, lies, falsehoods, all these different dumps on each other. So a lot of the work after the breakup is to become conscious of what's really true. And 9 times out of 10, that includes remembering your self-worth. Because if you're the one that's been broken up with, your self-worth can sometimes be dented from past experiences. And it's not accurate that you should be, but you feel that way. There's another piece. What's the other piece I was talking about? Post-breakup? I think I included that. Let me just double check that I covered, because I've got 3 or 4 pieces floating out there that I was going to talk about. Oh, this is another one. I talked about this before as different context, which is about rebound romance. In this context, to jump into a relationship paradigm or to put yourself in a bucket of I'm fine, I'm going to jump in the next relationship can get really messy. So my urging to you is if you're just coming out of a bad relationship, then another one won't fix it. Let me be clear. Somebody else's love and heart will be wonderful, but it won't fix your past stuff until you heal it yourself. You may see a common thread here, that the answers to this breaking up piece is inside you. And to honor, respect, and love yourself requires that you're doing the work inside. This is what I know from my own experience, what I know from my clients, and what I know when I help my clients. And I invite you to do the work, whatever that is, to truly heal your heart. Because once you're done with that relationship, it's easy to say, okay, I'm okay now. 9 times out of 10, you're not. For many people, actually is a journey of grief that comes up. And grief is a whole other conversation. I've talked about that before. After a relationship ends, to be in a place of turmoil, upset, and confusion. That is underneath the surface of everything's fine. I'm absolutely fine. My invitation to you is don't nail down that tarp covering up the pain. Take the time to let it actually come forward, out, and heal. Those wounds don't heal when they're stuck inside, they just fester. Getting them out, getting them free is how you heal. I think I've given you enough on this topic. There's more to this, I know. I'm just giving you some of the pieces of the puzzle that may help you move forward from past relationship wounding, upsets, and hurt that you want to heal. And the conscious piece is to really take responsibility for your participation and take responsibility for your own wounding. Not to say that you caused it, but you can heal it. Because the conscious part is about how do you take care of yourself. And that is the biggest takeaway I would offer for this. How do you take care of yourself after your breakup? I think that's about it for this one. I'm not feeling any more urgent stuff to come through. Quick wrap up and reminder, this is my daily Facebook Live about love and relationships, primarily, helping masculine and feminine people understand themselves and how men and women can understand what that is. This is number 253 in an ongoing series of talks about love and relationships. If you have any questions about this, please put them below. I will answer them when I get off this broadcast. If you know anybody should watch this, please share it with them. If you want to watch my other broadcasts, which is 242 plus this one, 252 plus this one, go to my business page on Facebook, which is barryselby.author, to my YouTube channel, which is Barry Selby, Messages from the Masculine is the playlist, or to my website, which is barryselby.com, and click on the video blog. And that's where you can find me. If you have any questions about love and relationships, please reach out to me. You can message me over social media or go to my website, find out how to reach me there. And as always, I invite you, please take care of yourself in all aspects of life. You deserve it, you're worthy of it, and nobody can do it better than you can. And with that, I will see you again tomorrow.